Hey guys, I'm Mark Walters with bigfanboy.com, and I'm sitting here with Neill Blomkamp and Sharlto Copley.
Exactly
Jeez,
right.
he did, man. He just like
very
boom, boom,
rare.
both names.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Well, it's either Copley or Copley. That's what most people struggle
People
with.
seem to be struggling with Sharlto lately, though.
Yeah, they do.
District 9, which, guys, I love this film. This was so much fun. It actually reminded me of when I saw 28 Days Later, because I was seeing a film that was very kind of new and fresh. I went into it with absolutely no expectations and was just blown away.
Cool.
Now, I guess let's talk for a minute about kind of getting this whole thing together, getting together with Peter Jackson, getting it made, casting Sharlto. Let's just kind of get into that real quick.
It was Peter Jackson had hired me to do Halo.
Right.
So he'd been sent my short films and commercials and stuff that I'd done, and he hired me to do Halo, and I went down to New Zealand and spent a few months working on Halo, and then it collapsed. And he's had movies collapse on him, and he knew what I was going through. And I mean, he's just a very kind of generous, awesome guy. And he said, "This really sucks. I feel bad for you, and I can help you get another film made, and we can do it differently, so it can really." We can control it, and you don't have to go through this again. So it was this approach that was this kind of independently financed, outside of the system a little bit, like slip under the radar style of making the movie. And so he said, let's make that happen. And then Fran Walsh said, why don't you take Alive in Joburg and turn it into a feature, which was a short film that I did that this movie's based on. So that's how it came about, and then. I know Charl from when I was a kid, and because I'm from Johannesburg, but I left like 12 years ago, and he's always been someone he's a very effective guy that, like, if I phone him up on a producing basis, I'm like, I want to shoot some test footage for District 9 because I want to show possible investors and studios or whoever is going to pay for the film. I want to show them what it's going to look like. So I went to Johannesburg to shoot that, and he put the shoot together, and then I asked him to improv this kind of Afrikaans character to kind of help sell what the style and the look of the film would be. But I didn't do it thinking he'd be the guy. I just asked him to do it. And he's got a very natural ability to become characters and improv and mess around and stuff. So he did that while he was also producing it. And I went back to New Zealand with this kind of small little test footage thing, and it was just blatantly obvious that he should just actually be the guy. Yeah. So I sent it to Pete, and Peter thought he was very funny. I mean, Fran and Pete both like him, and then I offered it to him.
Yeah, Sharlto, you have a very natural, kind of unscripted feeling performance. It's probably one of the most sincere performances I think I've seen in a while in terms of, we get so many of these big Hollywood films that are just so hollow and cookie cutter, and your performance in this film, I immediately was just immersed in it. I felt like I was watching a real guy, and then I was right there in the middle of the whole thing. Was it hard, trying to kind of keep it in that realistic aspect and not have it feel scripted, or did it come across pretty natural?
It wasn't scripted.
Not really, because
it is his own words. It's all. I mean, he threw out what we wrote.
Yeah. So it is. So to answer that, I mean, no, it wasn't, and Neill set up the structure where not only could I improvise, but I'm in the real places. It's not a green screen or blue screen stage. When I'm dealing with aliens, I'm talking to, I'm able to improv with another actor who's improving in a suit that they can paint out afterwards. When it's action and we don't need anybody there, I can just run down and kind of work out where the alien might be with Neill just roughly, and they put the alien in around what my character's doing. So there was a type of freedom, I think, in the filmmaking process, which is extremely unusual. I mean, I've certainly never heard of it in this kind of, with this sort of genre of film, with science fiction. I think that's what Neill was able to do, just create that space where it really felt like we were making a documentary. That's how it felt to me as the actor.
It definitely brings you in as an audience member. It really allows you to immerse yourself in this film and feel like you're part of it. One question I had was about the aliens themselves. It's so incredibly realistic watching this film, and I can't believe that you guys were able to do what you were able to do on the budget that you had. How much of the alien stuff is real, like prosthetics, and how much is CGI?
Well, all the stuff on Sharlto is practical. That's all makeup. Okay. And the aliens are all digital. Right. Yeah.
There's no like guys in puppet suits or anything like that.
There was going to be to make sure we were going to stick within our budget, and we built and manufactured suits that Weta had made, and they look kind of like what the digital guys look like, but they're not. it's just not as good. You know, I mean, it's not Weta is brilliant, but it's just if you put a human in a suit, that's going to look like a guy in a suit. So we shot footage with that and very quickly threw it out, and it just was all digital creatures.
Extremely effective.
Yeah. Well, when Charles talking about interacting with the guy who plays all the aliens, the process was that Jason Cope would play Christopher and all the other aliens, and he was wearing like a gray lycra suit so that the artist could see where the light was hitting him and how the light was interacting with him. Besides HDR, chrome, reflective balls, and light meters and stuff. So he would interact with Sharlto so their performances are real. Then he would be rotomated by the visual effects, by the animators, so that his performance was captured. So now, not only is Sharlto being real, but the performance of the alien is also going to be real. And then they paint Jason out with a three-dimensional camera, which is difficult, and then put that performance that they captured back on the digital guy and put him back in. And then you get something that feels pretty cool.
Well, this is obviously getting a lot of buzz. I really appreciate you guys coming out here. Is there anything coming up that we should know about? Are you guys going to possibly work together again on a project? Do you have anything in mind?
Like a project with aliens in Johannesburg.
This really seems to me like a movie that could very well lead into more, things. I mean, it could easily be a prequel to all sorts of things.
Universe,
very much.
Yeah.
But do you guys have any ideas about maybe a future project for one another?
Well, I mean, we both would love to make another District Whatever movie if this is successful. Yeah. Then the answer is yes, because for me, it's so creatively rewarding, and he's found his new career of acting. So it would be cool to do, but it has to be successful for that to happen.
Is he going to be insufferable after this?
Well, this is the joke. I mean, this is the constant thing is, he keeps talking about...
Where's my water? Did we have...
Yeah, where's your banana frappuccino? Or, yeah, I know what you mean. No, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you coming out. District 9, August 14th. Check it out. Cool. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, man. Yeah, cool. I appreciate it.